Welcome to Euro Collision. Firstly, I would like to introduce Team Zebra for today. You have got your head ref, Scooter, followed by Captain Pickard, Mimey Vice, Reckless Rowley, Noise Tank, Flash Heart, and Fruit Boots. We'd also like to introduce head NSO, Snow Mercy, and her beautiful team of NSOs.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege, nay my honour, to introduce to you, all the way from Ireland, the Dublin Roller Girls! They are Agony Auntie, B.A. Blockers, Bell for Leather, Dirty Knees Louise, Jessica Ramit, Kim McCarthy, Peppy Nefrin, Malibru's Stacy, Tina Gutter and Jam, and their captain Kitty Cadaver, and finally Whippy Longstockings. Their bench coach is Violent Bob, ably assisted by No. These are the Dublin Roller Girls! NSOs take a knee. Thank you.
Now, your home team for today. Let's welcome the Brighton Rockers! I'd like to use your captain for today, Chariots of Fire! Your vice captain, Derby Murky! Number 360, Sham Bollick! Number 1984, Enyo Face! Number 18, Rosebleed! Number 8, Mistress von Ubervixen! Number 7, number 504, Betsy Bourne. Number 57, the Hairy Fairy. Number 8.2, Minds a Cider. Number K9, Dr. Hooligan. Number 101, Vandalus. Number 0, Scott Wild. And introducing bench coach and lineup manager Bash Genocide and the mighty Bash. Give it up for your home team today, the Brighton Rockers.
And just as everyone's getting set up now, just remind you that the first jam out today will be a demonstration jam, where for those of you who don't know roller derby, we'll be showing you the ropes a little bit. At the moment, the referees are taking time to check the kit of all of our skaters. It's not just an excuse to frisk a roller girl. Safety first.
Roping second.
A very close second.
With noise tank.
When there are breaks in the action, you might like to go and have a look at all of our lovely merchandise tables at the back. Pick yourself up some delicious comestibles.
Brighton Rockers are also supporting RISE, the local domestic violence abuse charity. There are a charity box outside for you to put your spare change in, please.
Yeah, let's try and make sure that we keep the violence to the track. Actually got a bit of a tremor there from the power coming out of the Brighton Rockers from their corner. If throughout the course of the day you do see any spillages near the track, if any liquids get near the track, do please let us know and we'll be able to send someone out to go and mop those up for you. And there's our first whistle of the day. Teams will shortly be coming out to do a little bit of demonstration jam for us. Give them a bit of encouragement, give them a cheer.
Right, this is the demonstration bout. If you have not been to see roller derby, pay attention. As you can see, we have a pack at the front. 4 and 4 from each team and the 2 jammers here. Refs are looking at all the players. The first whistle goes, the pack leaves. Once they're all past the red line, the double whistle goes, and the jammers, off they go. They're trying to get through the pack cleanly. Once they are through the pack cleanly, they are made head lead jammer. Only they can call off the jam. There is no points being scored at the moment. As you can see, Noise Tank is doing this motion, which means that Enyo Face is not lead jam. Once the other jammer goes through, she scores points, and this motion means the jam is off, followed by 4 whistles. That is how you score points. Is everybody clear?
If you do have any questions, then feel free to keep them to yourself. Or if you want to come and grab either myself or Maud, I'm sure we'll be happy to answer any during the half time.
Lots of support for all skaters. Are we ready, audience? Come on, audience, are you ready?
And we're off. We've got Jessica Ramett in for the Dublin Roller Girls.
Dublin have lead jam.
And In Your Face jamming for Brighton. And Dublin call it after what looks like a 4-pointer. Yep, that's 4 points for Dublin, nothing yet for Brighton. Lining up for Brighton, Rosebleed versus Band-Aid. Oh, yeah, both number 18. Derby Factoid. Sorry, my apologies. I think that's BA Blockus on the line. And Blockus comes out ahead. Dublin able to do some good defensive work, holding Rosebleed in the pack.
Got our first sin bin pivot for Dublin, 245. Jam has been called off, but the pivot still must go to the sin bin.
Bell for leather waking her way to the penalty box there. Looked like a back blocking major.
Dublin start with 2 blockers because 2 are in the sin bin.
And we've got Tina, Gutter and Jam versus and Chariots of Fire jamming for Brighton. Off to a fast start.
And Brighton have lead jam.
And there's your first lead jammer for
Chariots
Brighton.
of Fire.
Oh, swing low, Sweet Chariot. That was a big hit from Agony Auntie. And she calls it there, another 4 points there.
Setting a good example, captain for Brighton.
In Your Face back on the line for Brighton. And Jessica Ramett up for Dublin. Dublin skating with their pivot in the box.
Remember, jammers can't go till all blockers have passed the line. No pack has been called. She follows through.
And Jessica Ramett is through. And is called lead jammer.
Closely followed. Very close match between the 2 jammers. Lots of scuffling between blockers. And it's called off.
And she bags herself a cheeky 3 points before calling it off with no answer from Brighton. We'll wait for it to get confirmed, but it looks like the scoreline is 10-4 in Dublin's favour. Rosebleed on the line, lining up against who I think is BA Blockers. And just in case you didn't notice, Rosebleed is out as your lead jammer.
And she's called it off.
And she calls it. Looks like getting 1 point up. But that's how you win at Derby. It's all slow and sure. You can rack up all those 1-0s. You can win this game. We've got Peppy Nefrin lining up for Dublin, and Brighton's captain, Chariots of Fire, lining up for Brighton.
They pack, which means that they can go at the same time.
And that's a tactic we've seen a lot during the recent championships.
Struggling to get through from both teams.
We've got a Dublin lead jammer. Peppy Nefrin coming out ahead. The slow start is a very difficult tactic to make work for you. And Peppy will call it there. Looks like 3 points. And a lovely little impact from Captain Pickard there. Felt that one. In your face, lining up for Brighton. And Bell for Leather lining up for Dublin.
Too many players on the track. They've got too many players for Dublin, it seems.
And it looked like Dublin has had a player sent off there. They did have too many players on the track. In your face out as your lead jammer. Taken out by some good defensive work. In your face, getting a bit of help from Betsy Bourbon there, throwing a big hit. And that is 4 points there, up on the score for Brighton. I don't believe an answer there from Dublin. Rosebleed back out on the jammer line for Brighton. And number 3, Jessica Ramett, out for Dublin. And that looked like a 1-pointer. I believe the Hairy Ferry making away for blocking out of bounds to the penalty box. We've got BA Blockers and Chariots of Fire lining up. Last minute change, and the Rockers managed to get one of their skaters off to make them legal.
Dublin's jammer travelling through.
Some very physical play, working really well for Brighton, able to get their jammer out ahead again.
And here's coming through, she's calling it off.
And she calls it after 4 points.
Only the fourth whistle is to call it off. Only the fourth whistle.
And before that jam, I believe the scores were 13-13. We'll see if that changes. Seeing some strong play from both teams early in this bout. We've got Enya Face lining up for Brighton. And we're in a team timeout. Dublin has called a team timeout, as indicated by the little tea time being shown at the front of the pack. Some track maintenance going on, vitally important. And this is a track that knows when it's tangoed. Tina Gutter and Jam lining up against, I think, Enya Face on the line for Brighton. Some nice jammer chat going on at the line. It's always lovely to see. No one in the box at the moment, so we do have full sets of both teams. Let's see what happens. Lovely defensive blocking there from Brighton. Constantly taking and recycling the Dublin jammer.
Both jammers struggling to get through the walls that both teams are creating. And Brighton get lead jam.
Just in case you didn't notice, Enya Face there as your lead jammer. And Brighton calls it. I think that was just a 2-pointer. Yeah, that's confirmed. So it looks like Brighton edging out ahead, 15-13. We've got Rosebleed and Jessica Ramett back on the line. And we've still got an empty penalty box, 2 full teams on the track. And there you go, Jessica Ramett out ahead as lead jammer. Let's see what Dublin can make of this one. And she goes straight through the pack and calls it. That's 4 points on for Dublin. A cheeky 2 caught up there for Brighton Rockers from Rosebleed. That puts the scores back at a tie, 17 all. Peppy Nefrin and Enya Face lining up on the line. Not that you'd line up anywhere else. Possibly the supermarket. Strong Brighton wall at the front. Let's see what happens. And Enya Face makes it through. She is lead jammer. Oh, bit of a wipe out at the back of the pack.
Dublin still to get through.
Some solid defensive blocking there from number 7, Darby McGee.
Enyo facing her first pass. If she gets through, she will score a point on their jammer.
And Pepe Nefrin knocked down there by the Hairy Fairy just before the whistle went. We'll see what the effect on scores is. I think that was just 4 points clean for Brighton there, giving them 21 to Dublin 17. BA Blockus on the line for Dublin, and Shambolic stepping up. I don't think we've seen Shambolic jam before today for Brighton.
Brighton are holding back the jammer.
Shambolic weathering hit after hit there to come through his lead jammer.
No scoring points scored.
That's right, Maud, it's a double nothing coming through there. Some really seriously physical play from Brighton today, very impressive. We've got Bell for Leather on the line for Dublin. And coming back and doing some blocking, we've got Darby McGee, vice-captain of Brighton.
Both teams with players in the sin bin.
And some lovely dancing there from one of the jam refs. Seems like the referees are taking an official timeout. Let's have a look at the record they've got. Some lovely moves being pulled, and professionalism maintained in the centre of the track as well. I just don't have the skills to keep up with the referees. Just nothing but respect. Home fans making themselves known. Should mention we're being broadcast live on the Information Super Mega Webway by rduk.tv. As lovely a bunch of people as you could ever hope to meet. I'd also like to thank them for furnishing us today with this microphone. And a really long cable as well. There's nothing they can't do. With all the dancing that's going on, I feel I should remind you that the after party today is a roller disco right here.
If you haven't brought your skates, don't worry, because you can hide them.
And we're back. Serious faces on. Slow starting pack.
Trying to get some time to get their players out the box.
Brighton managed to force it by skating out ahead.
Clever tactic. And she's through. your vice captain, Derby McGee.
And the Dublin jammer is making her way to the box for a cutting major.
This is now a power jam. Only one jammer on the track.
Almost certainly is a power jam.
Only Brighton can score points.
And that's another full 5 points going up on the board. This could be big for Brighton. Nice solid block there.
Fantastic play from Brighton.
Derby McGee finds the inside line for another 5 points.
Dublin jammer still in sin bin, still on a power jam for Brighton. Blockers must be moving to make a block, they cannot stand still. And Dublin are back on to score points, and she calls it off.
Some solid defensive work there going on from Dublin, but they're not able to hold back Brighton. Scores now sit at Dublin 17, Brighton 41.
As you can see, a power jam can completely change a game.
Rosebleed jamming for Brighton, being told same again please. And Jessica Rabbit coming in for Dublin. And the jammers are off. Both jammers taking a very physical route through. Jessica Ramit showing some authority there and a bit of jammer on jammer action.
A jammer fight, unusual to see, but very tactical. Rosebleed is lead jam, so the longer it takes her to get to the pack, the less points.
But Rosebleed makes her way to the box.
Now a power jam for Dublin.
It looked like Rosebleed took a penalty there, I believe, for use of the forearms, but I'm not sure. Oh, Ramit taken down there by some solid blocking from Scar Wild.
Shambolic off for that big hit.
And now Shambolic making her way to the penalty box. And that is a full 5 more points for Dublin put up.
Dublin going slow so their jammer doesn't get worn out.
And I believe that's called at the full 2 minutes. The jam is still on. And there it goes.
Some confusion there about the end of the 2 minutes.
That puts our scoreline at Dublin 26, Brighton 45. And we're in an official timeout. Oh, no, we're now having a team timeout called by Brighton. Some last-minute change-ups going on. The referees have a bit of a chat in the middle. Violent Bob, the head coach for Dublin, in there, trying to figure out what's going on, I reckon. We're still in an official timeout.
While we're in this timeout, just to remind you that there is a space hopper race between Derby widows. Please make sure that you've bought your raffle ticket to back your favourite Derby widow.
Head ref Scooter there, just exchanging some words with the timekeeper, making sure that we're all set where we need to be. Tina Gutter and Jam lines up on the line of Jammer for Dublin, and we've got Chariots of Fire, Brighton's captain, lining up for Brighton.
If you can see the ref with the white helmet on, he has got the number 2 up, signalling that the Dublin Jammer has got 2 minors. So Chariots of Fire with 1 minor.
Yet more strong physical play from Brighton there.
Harry Ferry taking a hit to the wall.
And Chariots of Fire calls it there after what looks like 3 points on the board. Nothing for Dublin. As the scores stand at the moment, oh no, they've just changed, another 3 up, so this is an 18-point difference. 44 points, the winners in the lead at the moment are Brighton, 26 points for Dublin. Got Enya Face and BA Blockers lining up as jammers for their teams.
Brighton is through.
Dublin defence not able to stop Enya Face from getting through. His lead jammer once again. Let's see if he can make anything of it. Knocked down at the last there by Kitty Cadaver, the captain for Dublin. And it's called there. Violent Bob back out. He looks like he's calling for a cutting penalty. Rosebleed and Epinephrine into jam.
Refs have called a timeout. And I've asked for captains to come in. Head ref Scooter. An opportunity for teams to discuss any issues.
Still in an official timeout, as indicated by the beginnings of the YMCA being done by a number of the NSOs. Rosebleed there finds one fan, then a whole crowd.
It's been decided that due to a incident in the last jam, Enyo Face has been sent to the box for a cutting major.
Which means that Dublin will start this as a power jam. They're taking a knee to force that no-pack situation, get the jam started and get their jammer released as quickly as possible. We've seen earlier on in this bout that can change the face of the match, and we will see again if Dublin can make something out of it. And there's the no-pack and the release.
Scarwell being sent to the box for elbow. Shambolic and Betsy able to keep the strong wall at the front with Mistress.
And Peppy Nefrin manages to make it out, and she is the lead jammer now. Solid blocking from Brighton, once again showing that dominant physical form. Huge hit from Mistress von Ubervixen.
And she goes straight through.
And Peppy Nefrin calls it. After it looked like just 3 points, I think, there for Dublin. Jessica Ramit on the line for Dublin. And Chariot Sophia, the captain for Brighton, on the line, jamming for Brighton. Jessica Ramit manages to make it out as lead jammer this time. Fast-moving pack and fast-moving jammers. This is the kind of derby I like to see. And Jessica Ramit taking a really solid hit there just at the end, but managing to stay up despite the best efforts of Darden McGee. And it looks like that looked like 4 points for both teams, I believe. BA blockers lining up opposite Rosebleed, but oh no, a quick switcheroo.
That was due to 3 minors.
And Bell for Leather is in for Dublin now.
A 4th minor constitutes a sending off.
Pack slow to start, but now speeding up.
And no pack. Lead jam for Dublin.
And that's Bell for Leather come out of the pack now at speed. And Dublin calls it. Looks like Brighton managed to sneak in one there. Oh no, sorry, my bad. Dublin got one, and nothing for Brighton on that one.
Remember that points can be scored until the 4th whistle. So if the jammers are going fast, they can get all 5 points when the first whistle goes, just the end whistle.
And Scooter showing there that BA Blockers did take her fourth minor and will be spending some time sitting down. Chariots of Fire versus Jessica Ramit. Ramit forced to the outside by some lovely Brighton defence. Chariots of Fire able to get through as lead jammer. And after some advice from her bench, Chariots of Fire calls it, and that looks like 4 points unanswered. Yep. Scoreline standing at 34 to Dublin, 55 to Brighton.
Very excited, Jamie's side here.
And we're in an official timeout. Referees just consulting with the NSOs. Probably talking about who's going to bring the cake later on. What's that cake going to be? Bakewell top that. Battenberg. Scooter just having a quick chat with Violent Bob, the coach for Dublin. Pepe Neprin and Rose Bleed up to jam for their respective teams. Rose showing some moves on the line. Brighton taking a knee.
An extra way to cause mayhem by splitting the puck up.
And despite Belfort Leather's best efforts at the front there with some solid positional blocking, Rosebleed makes it out as lead jammer. Lays a solid hit on Pepe Nepin as she goes past as well. Brighton once again showing they are not scared to play a very physical game even when they're jamming. And that's 5 points put up for Brighton. No answer from Dublin.
We'd like to remind you that roller derby is a lover sport, so keep your negative thoughts to yourself. Absolutely no booing. Let's have a big cheer for both teams, please. A big cheer for both teams.
Show a little derby love, people. Chariots of Fire and Jessica Ramit exchanging some tips. Maybe asking themselves what kind of cake will the referees be eating during this official timeout.
Don't forget the bar is open.
If there's one thing that roller girls love more than skating, it's beer.
And whiskey.
And whiskey. Let's be inclusive to our Irish friends. And also mildly racist. My apologies. So I believe the scores at the moment stand at 34 points for Dublin, 60 to Brighton. That's certainly not an unassailable lead. Let's see if they can maintain it throughout the rest of this period and the next one. And the pack is off.
Dublin still have 2 players in the sin bin.
Jessica Ramit able to knock Chariots of Fire down there with some good hit blocking at the back.
contract major by Dublin, so she's off. The power jam to Brighton. She is not lead jam, so this jam will run for 2 minutes. There is no lead jammer, but we are on a power jam. A full 5 points as she laps the jammer in the sin bin.
Virginie's Louise able to take Chariots of Fire to the outside of the track, but she's passed again. That's another 4 points, it looks like, is indicating there. Chariots of Fire knocked down. Oh, and double hit.
Jessica Ramett will try and get as many points as possible. There is no lead jammer. It will have to run for the full 2 minutes.
And that ran for the full 2 minutes, and I believe that Jessica Ramett managed to put up about 4.
An excellent jam by both teams. Excellent jam.
And I believe that was a signal for the end of this period, but I'm not 100% certain. Yep. Headrest scooter there indicating that that is in fact the end of this period. We are into half time, and going into half time the scores currently stand at Dublin 38, Brighton 75 points.
Oh, she is quick. She is straight through the lead jam, but Rosalie straight on behind on her back.
So Jessica Ramett is lead jammer. And that's it called. It looks like 2 points going up for Dublin and nothing for Brighton on that one. Still a 37-point lead for Brighton at the moment, but as we've seen earlier on, that can all change with one power jam.
Dublin have 2 blockers on the bench, Brighton have 1. A no pack, so it's a jammers can lead. And a lead jam. Chariots of Fire.
And that looks like nothing. Jessica Ramett stepping up to the line to jam for Dublin, and In Your Face up to jam for Brighton. But we are in an official timeout. Another opportunity for the referees to discuss cake. And now changing to indicate a team timeout for Brighton. Jessica Ramett there, double teaming, doing a bit of track maintenance as well. And we're back into the official timeout now. As indicated by the gun show at the front. Some last minute modifications to the penalty tracker there. And we're off with a slow starting pack. Dominant Brighton front line manages to allow In Your Face to get through as lead jammer. And that's it called. And that's In Your Face being sent to the box for what looked like a major low block. Which means that Dublin will start this as a power jam. BA blockers stepping up. And another no-pack start, releasing Dublin's blocker. Jammer. BA blockers. Confusing. And she makes it through, and she's got lead jam. That is a clean pass. And the referee signaling a no-pack. Slows everything down.
soda to the sin bin for blocking when there's no pack.
That's right, an out of play major.
This is where Dublin could bring it back. Power jam makes all the difference.
And that's another 5 points. I believe that's 10 so far. The pack at a standstill. That's some good tactical play by Dublin. And they get the no pack call they were after. I suspect that'll be another 5. There it is, another 5.
Brighton is 3 but no lead jam.
And Dublin call it off. It looks like before Brighton could get in there to do anything. Yep, that's confirmed. They put another 3 on there. Big power jam there for Dublin. Some lovely defensive work being done by Malibu's Stacey. This is her first time out on the track for her team. And another team timeout being called. I believe it looked like it was going from Brighton. Another opportunity for the jam refs to show their moves. And that whistle will summon the skaters back to the track.
Brighton have 2 blockers in the sin bin.
And we've got Jessica Ramit on the line for Dublin. And the Brighton captain, Chariot Sophia, on the team for Brighton. Jessica Ramit manages to sneak round the outside there to get lead jammer.
Very closely followed by Chariot Sophia.
Brighton suffering from a lack of blockers in the pack at the moment due to a few penalties they've racked up. And Jessica Ramit calls it. And she gets her full 5 by the looks of things. Scores are getting a lot closer now. Dublin 62, Brighton 80. That makes this an 18-point game, and as we've seen, that can go ahead in one jam. Pepi Nefrin, number 49, stepping up for Dublin, and Rosebleed, number 18, jamming for Brighton. And we're back on an official timeout again.
We'd like to just say a big thank you and a big welcome to all roller derby girls that we've got in the house today. We have got LRR, Basingstoke Bullets, Portsmouth, and any other teams, welcome to Brighton.
And Pepi Nefrin for Dublin is called as lead jammer. And she calls it off there. Chariot Sophia, Brighton's captain, steps up once again to jam for Brighton. And I believe it's Belfer Leather stepping in for Dublin. Chariot giving a bit of a wave to the audience there. And that's the no-pack, immediate release of the jammers. Chariot pushed down and forced to the outside there. And Belfer Leather makes it through, but she is not called lead and takes a major penalty for track cutting. Both jammers making their way to the box.
Two jammers could not be in the box at once, so whoever gets there first can go back on.
They will serve 10 seconds each. Both jammers straight back out.
There will be no lead jammer because they've both been sent to the box. So this jam will run for the full 2 minutes.
Noise Tank doing some very artistic swishing of his arms there. And a lovely little jink at the end there gives Dublin up for, I believe, 4 points.
She's off the cutting track. Even though she fell on, it does still mean cutting track.
And we're back once again in a power jam situation for Dublin.
Betsy Bourbon on and then straight back off again for another major.
And there she goes, that's another 5 points. For those of you not familiar with the rules, if you're sitting in the sin bin, if the other jammer gets past even one of your team, she gets the ghost points. That looks like the end of that jam. Belfer Leather, having given it everything out there on the track, takes a couple of moments there to get steady again. And that gap has closed even further. Dublin now with 75, Brighton with 80, just a 5-point difference now. That's one pass. Jessica Ramett stepping up as the only jammer on the track for this jam, but we are in another official timeout. And she'll take advantage of that to go and have a chat with her team. Talking tactics with a gum shield in, never easy.
Just to remind you, there is a roller skating after party to celebrate both teams skating today.
I'll be trying out some new wheels afterwards. So when this jam begins, it will begin with 3 of Brighton's skaters in the box. Their jammer and 2 blockers.
As we are in a timeout, if you have got pink raffle ticket number 48, you won the first prize. Please make yourself known to the merch table.
That's pink 48. pink 4-8. Still an official timeout. Jessica Ramit there celebrating, having been told she has no minors at the moment, so she can foul her way around. And we're coming back. Dublin taking a knee to force that no pack and release their jammer as quickly as possible. Make the most of the fact that she can find the inside line and go through.
Excellent.
She may be able to close that gap. And she's being sent off for a major cutting penalty. We'll have a jammer switcheroo.
Now power jam for Brighton. It's a pass to Star we've just seen, a pass to Star.
And In Your Face ends up with the star, but she is put down with authority by Dirty Knees Louise.
Brighton jammer off. Dublin jammer can return.
It's like a revolving jammer door in the penalty box at the moment.
We now have a Dublin power jam.
Still only 5 points in it. And Jessica Ramit able to weather a couple of strong hits there from Brighton. One of which it seems was illegal. So Darby McGee will make her way to the box.
And that is why they are suicide seats.
And that looked like a full 5, which will close the gap. And in fact, put them over the top. That looks like a switcheroo, change of lead. We now have Brighton on 80, but Dublin on 85 points. Just goes to show those leads can switch just like that. B.A. Blockus stepping in to jam for Dublin. And a team timeout called. Oh no, we're changing to an official timeout. Just like to give another big shout out to Jaiso, who own this building. Thank you very much for giving the Brighton Rockers a home. Scooter there finishes her conference with Violent Bob, the head coach for Dublin. And Dublin go back down on a knee. Just to remind you, we've got B.A. Blockus in jamming for Dublin. She is the only jammer on the track. And there's that no pack, she's released immediately. And she manages to come out as lead jammer through basically just main speed there. Mistress von Ubervixen telling Ali Adati, get out my way.
And then goes through the pack. No lead jam. Dublin have lead jammer status. And she pulls it off.
And let's see, that is a 4-point pass. And Dublin extend their lead. Brighton with 80, Dublin with 89. Still an incredibly close bout at the moment. As Jessica Ramit comes up to the line to jam for Dublin. And Shambolic coming up to jam now for Brighton. Dublin taking a knee again. Jessica Ramit with a lovely little fake out at the back, manages to make it round the pack as lead jammer. And she'll call it there. Let's see if Brighton managed to sneak any in. That's a 4-point pass for Dublin, a 2-point pass for Brighton there. Cheeky extra 2 on the end. And BA Blockers comes back out to jam for Dublin. And Rosebleed, a crowd favourite, stepping up to jam for Brighton.
And we start a jam with no players in the sin bin. Amazing.
It is a miracle. Big long line across the centre there. Neither team willing to give up advantage.
Moving very slowly towards the line. All skaters have to cross the red line. The red line for the jammers to go.
And they're out to a fast start. Dublin takes a penalty, a major for cutting. So Rosebleed is the only jammer on the track now, and this is a power jam for Brighton. And she's through. That is a full 5. Some lovely defensive work by Dublin front line. But Rosebleed managed to escape again. Curtin Louise throwing a couple of strong blocks, taking her to the outside, but it's just not enough.
We are 1 point away. Brighton are 1 point.
And that's 5. That'll put them 4 points in the lead. And Rose calls it just as the Dublin jammer is released. Another switcheroo. Making this, actually, my apologies, a 3-point game. Brighton 96, Dublin 93. Brighton's captain, Chariot Sophia, comes up to the line to jam for them. And Jessica Ramit back in for Dublin. And another official timeout being called. For those of you less familiar with the rules of Derby, you'll have seen Noise Tank at the end there tapping his head a lot. It's not just because he had an injury there or was trying to get a scratch in. That indicates to the other jammer referee that the jammer that's on the track has just passed where the other jammer was. It's called jammer lap point.
We have 2 Dublin players in the sin bin. Brighton starting with the full team. Dublin starting with just 2 blockers. There'll be some tactical moves here.
And you know it's getting serious. Dublin's head coach has undone his shirt. Swing low, sweet chariot. She's through once again as lead Chariot's afire. And she's through and calls it, picking up 4.
Dublin playing a very strong team with only 2 players. Brighton have hit the 100 mark.
Bit of last minute track repair going on as BA Blocker steps up against Enya Face on the jammer line. A speedy stop there from our ref. And another official timeout. Big home crowd here making themselves known. Just like to give a big shout out as well to everyone watching on rduk.tv, sat in their homes. You know, it's not as good as the real thing live, but if you can't be here, then that's the next best thing. And just a reminder, Enya Face and BA Blockers up on the line. Head ref Scooter just again finishing off a bit of a conflab with Violent Bob. And our timekeeper getting her sexy on at the front. There's our first whistle. Slow start from the pack this time. Neither jammer coming out as lead jammer.
We will now run for the full 2 minutes.
Some lovely teamwork from Dublin enables their jammer BA Blockers to get round for 4 points. Enya Face also racking up 4. Keeping those scores tight. Another 4 for each team. And Agony Auntie making her way to the penalty box for Dublin. Enya Face knocked down by Dirty Knees Louise. And again, she's been doing some solid blocking throughout the day.
Both teams with very strong walls, not letting the other jammer get through. Both are through.
And that looks like a little 4 points for both. High scoring jam for both teams. And that's the 2 minutes up. An outstanding jam from both sides, defensively and offensively. Disappointingly, no change in the scoreline effective. Still 105 for Dublin, 112 for the home team Brighton. Jessica Ramit versus Rose Bleed jamming. And there's the no pack. Jammers are released immediately. Some last minute score tweaking in the last jam. And Dublin come out with lead jammer.
Rose swallowtail. Both teams with full lineups.
And Dublin call it. They definitely picked up one. And Rosebleed is sent to the penalty box for blocking with the head, it looked like. Which means that Brighton will start this jam jammerless. And Jessica Ramit is the only jammer on the track right now. Official timeout being called by the NSOs. Looked like some misunderstanding about penalties and who is where and what and when. Yeah, there we go. Agnianti heading back in for Dublin into the penalty box at the end of that last jam. But this is still a power jam for Dublin. Strong wall from Brighton, making it difficult for her to get past. Solid hit from the Hairy Fairy. And she's through after what looked like a no-pack call. The pack now at a standstill. Another solid hit there. Number 32, Brighton, Chariots of Fire, their captain. Brighton once again able to make this very physical game work for them. And Rosebleed comes straight out of the box and sneakily gets around. Dublin will call it there.
A sneak attack by Rosebleed coming out of sin bin. Straight in to score 4 points for Brighton.
Scoreline now standing at 111-115 in favour of the home team Brighton. Just 4 points. Doesn't come much closer than that.
With just under 6 minutes left of this half, a very tight game.
Epinephrine on the line for Dublin and Shambolic for Brighton. And an official timeout being called at the front. Some emergency track repair going on.
Let's give a big cheer to both teams today, giving you some excellent entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've got 2 jammers on the line. If you want Shambolic to do her best, give her a big cheer now. And let's hear it for Epinephrine for Dublin.
Woo!
Shaking that thing. Some jammer on jammer action very early. Again, Brighton making it physical here on the track. Shambolic knocked out. But she manages to get up and recover. She's through as lead jammer. And she finds that outside for 5 points. That's a grand slam. That's going to make all the difference this late in the game. Epinephrine being shut down by a solid black wall of Brighton blockers at the back of the pack. And Symbolic makes it round again, beating a 2-on-1 situation at the front of the pack. That's another Grand Slam 5 points.
Symbolic making her 4 fast. Dublin working very hard for 2 off.
Dirty-Knees Louise throws a huge hit which does not connect. And that is the 4 whistles. That is a huge jam for Brighton. Widening that lead that was just 5 points, bringing it back up now. Dublin stands still on 111, Brighton 130, 19-point lead. BA Blockers stepping up to jam for Dublin, and Rosebead stepping up for Brighton. Oh, Jammer wipeout at the back of the pack. And Dublin will take a major there. Their Jammer is going to the box. It looked like a low block penalty from what I could see, making this a late power jam for Brighton. And Rosebead finds a way round. That is 5 more points.
We are still on a power jam, and she's through.
Straight down the middle, another 5.
And she is breaking those walls.
That's 15 points so far this jam. Can she get another 5 on? And she calls it. A huge jam there for Brighton. Team timeout being called by Dublin. That puts the scores at Dublin 111, Brighton 145. A 34-point difference now in favour of the home team Brighton.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dublin for travelling all the way over from Ireland to be with us today, so a big cheer for Dublin.
The unofficial period clock is showing 1 minute 12, I think, from here. Or is it 3:32? It's very difficult to read at this angle. And that's the end of the team timeout.
Come on, audience, it's the last jam. It's the last, possibly the last jam. Only 1 minute, 12 seconds on the clock. Possibly your last jam. Give it up for both teams as they play.
Chariots of Fire, captain, jamming for Brighton, and we've got Jessica Ramit in jamming for Dublin. And before the first whistle has even gone, Dublin have another blocker sent to the box. And there goes Dublin's jammer. heading for the box as well. Oh, but Chariots of Fire now being levied with a cutting penalty as well. She will now go into the box and we will have a jammer switch over.
Dublin jammer is back on for her power jam.
And we're in a no pack.
And Chariots of Fire, both on.
Looks like 4 points going up there. And both teams putting another 4 up on that pass. Dublin closed the gap slightly. And there's another cutting penalty, this time for Jessica Ramett. She's sent off on a major as Brighton's captain, Chariots of Fire, racks up another 4-point pass. There we go, referees have whistled it off. According to the unofficial clock, that is time. We'll get both the clock and the scores confirmed for you. But the board at the moment, there it is, there's the whistle, definitely over, showing a scoreline of Dublin 115, Brighton 162.
Everyone onto the track for some slapping.
Some referee hugs going on.
An excellent game.
They're running through the scores as quickly as they can. So once again, the unofficial final sitting at 115 to 158.
Brighton Rockets!
Give it up for your runners-up, the Dublin Roller Girls!
Let's give it up for our Zebras!
Go on, Team Zebra.
And a big cheer for the NSA! NSA!